And honestly, if you're listening to me, they can't afford to buy that. I'm not in their pockets. I do not think those people can afford to bring out the kind of money that they've used in buying forms. And of course, if you listen that well, you've heard people say, oh, when they buy a form, ridiculous. How was that form? Would they do the campaign? If you leave that, you come to the category of those guys. That's the most nauseating group. That means he has no agenda, he has no objective, he just bought a form and asked him. He said, I'm waiting for the anointed. If it's a state, the state, they're waiting for the government to anoint them. The least they will do is bring a poster. The next thing they'll do is do a billboard. Okay, I said, you want to have a contract with the people of your state, be it Imo, be it Abia, be it Enugu, even with the people of Nigeria, you want to have a contract with them. You want them to give you their mandate. You want to rule over them. You want to govern them. Hey, and you did everything. Went and procured a form, and you haven't said a word to them. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they are gathered all over the place. And when they say excellency, he answers to it too. Because you know the commonest thing in Africa, in Nigeria, once you get a form, in fact, if I change my name today, in fact, if I procure a form tomorrow, I will change from Uche Anioke to His Excellency. And so, some are buying forms to take positions. Some actually waiting. Okay, in fact, majority are buying forms so that in the coming days and weeks, they say, all Voltaire candidates come. Let's produce a consensus candidate. If it's not you, who will it be? Because they don't pay for their funds originally. It was procured for them, so they're waiting to say, okay, who do you want me to anoint if it's not me? So if there are 20 of them, and they said, okay, if it is not you, who? You see them pointing to one name because at the initial, they never paid for their forms. They lost nothing. In fact, they were actually giving money to pay for forms. And do what? Do their billboards, did their banners, did their posters, just for a purpose. So, I agree with the man who said most of them are deceivers. They're out to wink and deceive, don't suspecting public. I can't phantom it. There's even an issue that I think he's trying to prove himself manly. He wanted to run for an election and he had to embrace the name of another candidate. You know, I want to be governor. And somebody is declaring to be governor. I go to him. He says no in the spirit of his sportsmanship. Really? It doesn't appear that the man also procured a form waiting to be made a deputy or whatever. Who are the men? Who are the CCOs of this world? Where are the Jim Robles of this world? Where are the Simon Bakres of this world? Where are the Ologos of this world? The Bolages of this world? Men who would want to run. Ikedi face. Okwadi kids. These are men that will go say they want to do something and they really want to do that. Not men and women who will leave their homes. As they say in Igbo, feature tianya. Collect money from somebody. Go procure a form. Only to wait to be told what to do next. I have tried to talk to a few, at least here in Enugu, who I know and I asked them, did you really procure a form? He said, yes. I said, okay, I won't have a conversation on radio. He said, no, not yet. I said, really? Not yet? Yes. I said, when? He said, we're still waiting for the governor to talk. Hello, are you listening to me? He said he's waiting for the governor to talk. Talk to who? You procure a form, you have a billboard, you have a poster, and you're waiting for the governor to talk. Now, why are you showing the public your posters? Why are you displaying your forms on social media? Asking social media guys to do a critic of who you are. Okay, I also even listened to a senatorial candidate who just said, I want to go to Senate. Like, seriously, okay, you want to go to Senate, so if you go there, what are you going to do? See when I get there. Or do they want to be like the governor from the South, who was asked, why do you want to be president of Nigeria? He said Nigeria is a, he said there's a problem in Nigeria and he wants to solve the problem. Or Nigeria is, I don't know what he said. It was very incoherent. So if you're listening, tell me, has any of your candidates actually talked about what they intend to do? I'm actually impressed with one guy, one Charles who is from Soka, and he just bought a phone. And I saw a 2 or 3 page statement he issued about reinventing Nigeria. And I read it and I said, oh my God, his name doesn't seem to sound like a big bird in Nigeria. But at least I could see that after procuring a form, he was able to issue out a statement to the press. He wants to reinvent Nigeria. And he tried to articulate the challenges that Nigeria is facing. And he says he intends to reinvent Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be reinvented. And he's not one of those guys making noise. I'm not campaigning for him. But I do know that that's a bold step. That's the kind of thing I want to see. Let me take us back. Some years ago, precisely, it is telling me when His Excellency Solomon Hanacho went to PDP party office to procure a film. That was at Zik Avenue. Onya Hojoko was chairman. I went with him. He bought the form. And from that PDP office, he headed straight to Okpara Square. That is, just procure the form. I headed to Okpara Square to tell and there was sea of heads at Okpara Square. Enugu was complete and beyond. The politicians, the non-politicians, the market women, they were there. And he laid out his program to the people. He did not buy the form and then decided to go to his house to have a cup of tea. From the party office, he went straight to Okpara Square and addressed the people. And he said, I have a covenant with you. I'm starting a mission with you. If I get elected, he's not just a candidate, he's an aspirant. Exactly what he did. I also remember, as clear as possible, that the incumbent governor of Enugu State, when he also did that, he also talked to the people, albeit with his one sentence program, seamless continuity and consolidation. If you're part of that campaign as I was, he knew what he said is that I believe in the incumbent governor. He is doing well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to seamlessly continue with his programs and then consolidate on them. Perfect. He was riding on the good works of the outgoing governor then. A lot of people today are claiming to be sons and daughters of the current governor of Enugu State. They are not even as much as to say, no, we'll continue what the governor is doing. That's a statement. What you do in the area of roads, what you do in terms of peace. No. Okay, yes, I think there's also an exception. I witnessed the declaration of Professor Pat in Nigeria. And one thing he did say, said Enugu has enjoyed peace under Governor Uwai, and that he wants to consolidate on that. But beyond that he wants to do one other thing. He wants to ensure that the experiment he's doing in Aba is also done in Enugu. 24 hours of power supply. He talked about leveraging on his wide experience with the outside world to bring a lot of people into Enugu. That is when that was just not a little speech. But he said these are the things. So these are about 1% of these gallivanting, paper buying, form buying politicians that are able to say, I'm concerned. I've identified the challenges facing our country. Let me even throw the number. When my old friend and friend, His Excellency Charles Oludo, started to run, he had a clear idea of what he wanted to do. He stated them clearly. Whether he was going to win or whether he was going to lose, but he said, look, if I'm going to do this, these are the kind of things I want to do. How come people are deaf? They don't hear the people's yelling. They're also dumb. They can't even speak to the people. All they did was money in hand, Abuja, pay a lot of money, come back, go back to the closet. And the best they ever did, ask one social media guy, take a picture of me and my phones, and they display it. To the glory of God, I procured a phone to run for this office. To the glory of XYZ, I've done this. So I'm going to Blessed Sacrament, lay down and show the phone to God. Fine. Seeking the face of the Almighty. Fine, beautiful. But what are the face of the people that are going to vote for you? You don't talk to them. They don't matter. I want to see somebody tell me, look, if I take Enugu as a case study, I want to consolidate on what the current governor has done or is doing. I want to improve on it. I've noticed there's absence of water. Okay. Chile, you and I were at Best Western when Ike Kremado talked to the press. It was actually not calling it a declaration. It was just a consultation. But of course, he had documents. He knew pathway to Enugu State. Love him, hate him. He was able to streamline sequentially, sector by sector, what he intends to do. That is where I know in civilized communities that you start this journey. How do you become part of the fund? I was speaking with one guy and he said, look, where they become candidates. I said, how do you become a candidate? He said it's a private party thing. I said, if it's private, why are they putting their posters for the public to see? If it's private, they don't need to announce it. But again, the party people are not people. I'm sure there are one or two people in my place who are party people that I can even influence. I said, look, if you're going to nominate a candidate, be sure the person has something to tell us. Okay, I learned that what they're doing is that they're talking to the delegates. You know, somebody told me, said, look, okay, do you know how much they're giving us now? I said, no. He said, okay, no, I don't need to tell you. This is our time.
Check it.
It's not time, their time. It's their time, also, me, so I just back, see, okay, have you ever bothered to ask him the untapped road to their place, what's going to be about it? It's all Gamba, no pocket first. And they're carrying our pockets. No more, nothing. No more, okay, I'm not Julia question. No, you put your I got Ojebego. Okay, go.
Oh.
I say, okay. See, you know he's buying your conscience. You know he's just, you don't count. You can't come back to ask him tomorrow. You didn't do this for us because you didn't ask him anything. There was no covenant. There was no understanding. There was nothing. He just came, brought food. There's one that told me, the guy came over. Oh, he came loaded. I said, we see rice, so we see, yeah?
Check it.
Everywhere. I know. Then you know, say, how will I go there? Agreed. Someone can log Abaton, Hannah. Or Abaton and them more. It must be so strong. It must be from the sanitary zone. It must be from a local government. Somebody must be a governor. Somebody must be a president. But when I say at Freedom Squares, can you tell us what you do for us? Can you explain your programs? Even if they're not shared. Nothing. And I'm still confused. In the second sanitary zone, there's a lot of trouble going on. There's a lot of trouble. My old friend, Dr. Pat Asad, he said he wants to go for a record fifth time. And they were released in Osoka. And there were troubles. Somewhere in Naneri too, there was a meeting and a fracas. Across the states, it's like we're getting back to the days of the locusts, where if you're going for a party meeting, you have to wear a crash helmet. No, now you have to wear a crash helmet. So, we've gone beyond that period. This is the era where we have a man in Enugu who has maintained peace all along. Now that is what? That cannot happen. Must not happen. If you ever love him, don't bring violence into Enugu politics. That means you are fighting against the incumbent governor. You like say you are his boy. He's a man of peace. So why are we having this plethora of crisis left, right, and center? I think we've gone past that. Democracy should be sporting in the nature. When you go to competitive sports,
Benny.
if you come, and let's say get together, let's fight together. But these guys are not doing like that. Winner take all. They're fanatical. Let me not use the word.
Calumny.
I don't understand. And they are friends, so they are friends. After that thing, you see them pop champagne. When they go to government houses today, they pop champagne and backslap each other. Then they invite, they clone, they pay social media tigers. If you ever believe what you are hearing and reading on social media, you think those guys don't talk to themselves. I'll give an example. I know a lot of people think that there's a whole lot of work between Gabriel and the governor. Governor as a governor. They're the best of friends. They may find the governor has champagne. More 1825 and all that. People will not know somewhere. Please, please, for Christ's sake, it is not like that. And you may not know that all these guys buying forms are friends in one way or the other. When I just had the former SSG, who's my friend, just bought a form. Last night I was just chatting with the former deputy governor of the Enugu State. If I know he also bought a form. But there are a couple of them, you know, just buying forms like, and I said, this money, where bigger is it growing on trees? Even the trees, the mango now, you can't pick the mango anyhow. 40 million. No, I can't put it. Now, I have no problem with that. If people want to hear from you guys, I'm not saying you must come to my program. I'm not saying you should not go to the program. What kind of Marubel rallies? What press? And then each other. Yeah. Nothing. Is it good for our democracy? I'm not sure. Is it good for our society? I'm not sure. Those who want to become champions, what do? They practice. Usually, you cannot become a champion without practicing. Usain Bolt to do that 1 second, 1 minute race. How to do it 15 years of training. Climbing the trees in Jamaica and all the hills. Here, somebody just come out from nowhere. Say he wants to be this. No problem about that. Now, since you're not known, even if you are known, can you have a conversation with the people? They say they're not interested. Just a woman came to me and talked about supporting him. I said, I'm not going to support you. I said, I'm not supporting you. Support you for what? Because she said she wanted to do. I said, what do you want to do? I want to support you. To go to Senate, to House of Reps, to become governor. I said yes. I said, so what do you want to support you? You have not told me. You not asked me, for example, where I come from, Amori, where pineapple producers. You not said, okay, in this business, if you support me, I'm going to ensure that there's a pineapple plant in your place. You are farmers. I said yes. You not told me that the roads, the farm roads will be reconstructed. You don't even ask me whether we have issues with power. You don't ask me about our educational system. You don't ask me about the water. There's perennial shortage of water in Enugu. You can even decide to say, look, yes, the current management body in Enugu, they are doing their best. I think I can improve on that. He said that my refuge is organized. He said, okay, I'm going to do something about that. There were a few I saw. I said, look. I must say this. Maybe the governor is too busy with the politics, but let him know that his ways, because people are not working. They're not doing anything. Somebody can leverage on this. I said, look, you will remain a clean city. I will do that. I'll make sure. That's only what they're telling us. Someone will say, look, okay, first 1 year. I don't know what you're going to do. I won't do anything. I will make sure the street lights are back in Enugu. Someone will say, okay, health is my own. Look, I have health centers, but they appear to be mere consulting clinics. I'm going to ensure that there are hospitals too, for every 2 kilometers or every 5 kilometers in villages. Someone will say, I'm going to borrow a leaf from Giga and P2B and go. Every village must connect. So just two things. Don't bother about the rest. Someone will say, look, my priority is education. I'm going to ensure that this mushroom private school do not exist anymore. And the quality teachers, the graduates in this state, a graduate will have finished. And what the graduate doing? The graduate is teaching in a private school. That private school is paying how much? 10,000 naira to the graduate. What would the person teach? So let even one aspirant say, look, as a very safe aspirant, what I want to do is to ensure that we have standards, educational standards. I'm going to ensure there's quality. Those are the kind of things we want to hear. But none. We have aspirants that are deaf and dumb, waiting to be anointed. That is all. And to say no to that, it should not. That's why they say I'm causing trouble. I'm not causing trouble. I'm helping society to grow. My job is to hold those who want to aspire to account. I want to have a record of what they said.
Yes.
So when they are there, I will do what?
You say 30 years.
You say, okay, after the first year, okay, you said this, so it's on tape. We're not going to give it. Up for 36 months. Up for how many months? Up for 36 months, so what's you going to work for? Nothing. Anyway, if you are still listening to us, you recall that this prior to this, today we had advertised a guest. That guest, for some unknown reasons, is not in his character. I've just arrived late. Of course, sometimes he sent a text and said Transekulu flag. I don't know whether Transekulu has translated into a Lagos go slow.
And asking you.
But whatever it is, it's just something will say. I'll end the perennial
Stress.
Hold up in Enugu. I will tell them how to. I will give the Lagos treatment. If from one triple lines, you quote 5,000 naira. Just follow the line. I was in Lagos and I didn't know. I thought I was in Enugu.
Yes.
He said, driver, hurry up and then the airport. Smoke at 25,000. He said, well, ask him 25. Also, it's not even enough. Oh. You may pay the 25, but he said you and do something. I said, for where? He said, well, for here. He said, okay, it may not be enough. They said, I will go back to and retest my driving abilities. They're going to check my vision. So it's not just about 25. I will not do it, Olga. I looked at the man and said, so there's lawlessness in Enugu transport system. So let the candidate say, look, I'm going to discipline everybody. I'm not saying you guys should not do their business, but because follow their leader, follow the next guy behind. Just don't jump the business they cause.
Hi.
Anyways, let's welcome our guests. I only done 1 hour of talking. Yes, I only done 1 hour. I've done 45 minutes of rapping, doing my own thing, doing my own rules. But like I said, he's been on this program for a couple of times. I've never been late. So whatever was I've heard him was very, very serious. I just do hope it's not life threatening. But the way he's smiling doesn't appear to be life threatening. Let me recap. If I introduce my guest, let me recap. Let me do it. That recap is that politics is in the air everywhere in Nigeria. There's no doubt about that. The political ecosystem has been inundated with cacophony and plethora of aspirants. Presidential, governorship, senatorial and House of Reps, State House of Assembly, etc. We have the very unserious and we have the serious aspirants. We have the pretenders and we have the contenders. We have the determined and those that call, let us be part of the bandwagon. We have those waiting to be anointed and those who are anointed already, and those who indeed do not wish to be anointed. They want to go into the field, prove their mettle, win or lose. Dangerously and pathetically, only about a negligible number of these aspirants are issue-based politicians. And that's what I discussed. I'm talking about water, I'm talking about sanitation, They're not talking about road. They're not talking about education. Nothing. They just want to be governor. They want to go to Senate. They want to go to National Assembly. I said only very few. And I mentioned Jaliubu, who got a presidential ticket, Forbes, and had issued a statement to reinvent Nigeria. That is the kind of people we want to listen to. But that night also, today, he was present with his form. He's talked about peace, praised the governor, and said, look, I want to sustain that, but I want to do other things. I want to leverage on my wide contact to bring transformation to Enugu State. And I'll maintain the peace. And we have to declare Koremado, who called a press conference, even before he bought the form, and outlined a new part of Enugu State. I think Frank Mwezi Jr. had also done something like that. The rest are just doing posters, social media presentation of about the form. The God be on the glory. So in the God, I'm when the day is formed. And this is the day he got his form. Who, like I said, even in the one sense, said seamless continuity and consolidation. And if you know what that meant, it meant that I am happy with the incumbent. His programs will be on my programs. I also consolidate on that. My also aspirant. He was an aspirant. He came out with a book that chronicled his intentions. A book, I didn't say a full book. And then he said, "Dare to win or dare to courage there. Courage to dare. Courage to dare. Full book. You can Google it, you can go anywhere. How will I think Bakwado? So that brings me to that my guest, who wrote a book preparatory to becoming a candidate. Courage to dare. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a businessman, a politician, a husband and a father, a teacher and a student, a lawyer and an environmentalist. In and out of politics is politics. Let's put of him Larry. Okay?
Thank you.
Good morning.
Let me apologize to the listeners for my being here.
God bless me.
Not in my character. That's the truth.
Okay, what to see what we can do with the remaining times. I know you are cerebral, and I know you won't shy away from it. So this is the romantic now. What was it all about? Courage to them. What was it all about? How did the book be presented? When you aspire to the governor of the courage to them. What was content of that book?
Well, I cannot sit here and exhaustively discuss all that is contained. So it was clearly my positions, my thoughts, things I intended to do and if I was elected as the governor of Enugu State. I wanted to change the narrative. I don't believe that up until now, anybody is still so I marshaled out things we are going to do in agriculture, in commerce, skill acquisition, etc. These were all the things which we designed for Enugu beyond 2023. But of course, even though we had that book, we didn't make it. So I think for a state, it's life ambition. That's all. It's life. Our friend, the governor of Rivers, that the power is not given but taken. That he wants to take the power. When you now take it, what do you want to do with it? You must tell Nigerians what you intend to do with that. I'm not saying that those who have not started talking now do not have intention to talk. Some strategy. Some are still consulting. What is important is that you must tell us what you want to do for us. You don't take a government accountability. It is important that you let us know what you intend to do so that periodically we'll continue to remind you that you had short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans. But a year has gone. What have you done in practical terms? So it is important that whoever is running for an office should let the people know what he or she intends to do for the people, be it governorship, senatorial, and even presidential. It is important. It's an irreducible requirement for any person that intends to run for an office. It is not a private business. You are talking about discharging, being in charge of our collective patrimony, right? We need to know what we intend to do with that. It's not a secret thing. You must tell us. If you don't tell us, then you're not prepared. Like I said, the strategy differs. Some will pick their form and clearly tell us what they intend to do. Some will finish consultation and do formal declarations and tell us what they need to do. What is important is that you must tell us. The timing, nobody will determine for you. It's a matter of strategy. But you have to try to do that because we need to begin to look at this as parents and know who to work for. Do not forget that at this stage where we are now, they are still consulting and still talking with their parties. They are not yet candidates. So it is that they are beginning to assess them. But I tell them, they give us printed materials, they discuss with us, they engage us, and we engage them too. Let me also advise this medium. If they are reluctant to talk, invite them. Of course, you can make it public that you've slated 2 weeks from this day to this day for all aspirants. Call their names, let them come. If they don't come, we know they're not serious. Or you can stream whatever they want to do into the money.
Just do not say what is
That's the role assigned to the person.
Yes. And document, referral document. People can refer to it. People can even borrow a leaf from it. The other of aspiring is not that you must be elected. It means you have good ideas, good intentions. And so when you share it early, even the man who wins, that the man has won doesn't mean he has better policies. And that's why we're saying grappling with inadequacies in governance. And that's what my friends say, look, both in management and in political, be afraid of PEOR. P-E-O-R-E. Previously unrecognized recruitment error. Puzzled by speechlessness. You are bamboozled by quietude. Oh, he's a simple guy, he doesn't want to talk. So we don't know, probably will not even talk at all. So let them open their mouth now. Let's know that they have the ability to talk. Whatever is a strategy, whether it is whatever, a policy, let me tell you. But it's not a strategy to go to social media and display it. Some go to shrine, some go to Blessed Sacrament. They also display those things. For the public, so I'm doing posters. Now, for them to become candidates, it's not your question. So the posters, I think, what are they meant for?
For the party delegates as well. If you like, you can look at it. If you like,
But remember, wait, I said, when somebody goes and this is a very big paper at Otiba Junction. No, they give it. So the black man does not become a candidate.
How and when? I don't know whether before I arrived you had negotiated how you want it to happen. These aspirants have the various strategies. But what is important is that must. At this point now, they will obtain their funds. Most of them, I suppose, should be talking to their party now. They should be engaging the delegates of their party to emerge as candidates. By the time they become candidates, they have no choice. They must talk to all of us.
Okay, then the danger. On the last count of those who are watching governor in Enugu.
Are you discussing Enugu?
Wait, now I'm giving an example. I'm giving an example. There must be a point of contact. And the point of contact is Enugu.
And Southeast.
And the last count, there might be. I want to modest.
Okay.
And you are telling me that if it does not emerge, you remember there was one man said the government I said essentially. From what standpoint? From the document you produced. From the document you read it. I said, if this man has documents, intended to do, there's no excuse. Don't defend the indefensible.
No, I'm not defending that they should talk to us.
Is that what the candidate?
No, I'm talking about the timing.
And it's your own candidate. Just the rest will go with the ideas.
No. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
While they are still aspiring, they are engaging their party and their delegates. Are you a member of any political party
The
association?
book you created,
It was for my party, yes.
which party?
It was
Invite the press.
the leadership of the party.
Why did you invite-
We are all
Why
there.
did you invite the press?
The leadership of the party came, and I said to them, gentlemen, this is what I intend to do if I become the governor of Enugu State. I don't want to believe that all these aspirants are not prepared to talk to us. They must. By the time they finish their primaries, whether 4 or 5, depending on the number of political parties that are willing to run there in Enugu. Let me ask you, what's the problem with that not talking to their party members? It's delegate. It is now in the full,
So why are they talking about?
in the full election that the entire city.
Why are they talking about
look at
Zone?
it.
Why are we talking about Zone no zoning?
Which one?
You not to know which are the candidates that you should go to. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, now we're talking about zoning. It's part of the process.
Can I say? I am a member of People's Democratic Party, PDP. PDP in Enugu insists that they have zoning. I don't know what that guy is saying. It is not my business. I don't know what APC is saying. It's also not my business. But as it relates to People's Democratic Party in Enugu State, they are insisting. They have a document that rotation is here in Enugu. But that's not exactly what we came here to discuss.
No, but
When you want us to discuss it, we will.
I would allow you to run.
No, if you want us to discuss it, we will.
No,
We shall discuss it.
yes.
If that's what you
I don't
want.
want you to run from that. If you say a section, some people in the political party are saying that zoning, I will agree with you.
Who's party leadership?
Go ahead now.
Now, I'm asking you as a question. It's not about saying the section. If you want to discuss it, let's
Yes.
discuss it
Okay.
exhaustively.
Okay.
What constitutes party leadership? This is a party decision.
Which
Tell
party?
me, PDP,
Where and
what
when?
constitutes party
Where and
leadership?
where and when?
No, tell me, what constitutes party leadership?
I do not agree with you. From this point, I'm saying that the PDP as a party
I asked you a
say
question.
there's have a
You don't want to answer it.
no now
What constitutes party leadership?
party leadership.
Yes.
It's the totality of the people.
The
Totality of the people.
of the people. You are talking about party.
Wait, no.
Totality of the people. Party leadership.
Yeah, that's why they say the highest organ.
This one is misleading.
No.
It's misleading. It can't be
See,
totality
the
of
highest organ. The highest organ in the party
institution.
is that the convention, which embraces
Are you
everybody.
organ? Are you talking of organ?
Of course not.
Yes, organ.
Yes.
I'm asking you,
Which legislation
what
about?
constitutes party leadership in the state? We are discussing zone in Enugu. What constitutes party leadership in the state?
Okay.
Do you have party chairman there as heading it?
Okay.
It doesn't have you to.
I'm asking as heading the party.
No, it's the leader of the party is the governor.
The leader of the party is the governor.
Okay,
Okay,
not the party
wait,
chairman.
now the leader of the party
Yes,
is
it's
the governor.
Yes.
What is the role of the party chairman?
Some ceremonial. I'm being frank now. I was working with three chairs of it.
Cyril and Nico.
Some ceremonial. Let's just be very frank about it.
There is no party chairman that do not have their full responsibility, whether they exercise it or not.
So that's
If so
it.
far as the person is the chairman of the party in the state, he's the party chairman. Even if the wife exercises that in the he's the party chairman.
It's a
So,
good thing.
if a party sat and took a decision and the section of the party says they don't abide by it, it is within the party to use the instrument of the party to implement what they have decided. That is true.
That's your understanding.
Yes, that is what it is.
Okay. I once was a member of what we call party leadership. As a matter of fact, I was the founder from the secretary of the PDP.
PRO, yes, I know.
And up to the person when became governor, I was part and parcel of the party leadership. So I knew what they are talking about. I understand what they are talking about. But sometimes, those they call party leadership, I captain of even taking the decision.
Once they are there, for as long as they are in charge,
Listen now.
they are there and they are in charge.
Those people they call party leadership,
For as long as they are not removed,
they dance to the do's and dictates of the
the
political.
governor of a state is the leader of the party. You said it.
No, that's the correct thing.
So, I know I'm ready to even respond to
Governor of Enugu State, not in any forum, not in any forum.
which governor now.
The governor of Enugu State,
The current governor.
why
Yes.
has not in any forum, talked explicitly about zoning. What you are hearing segments of people talking that zoning,
There is yeah.
that is the truth, incontrovertible. I never looking up to the governor to say a word. They called him at Okra Square He said at the fullness of time, he has not spoken.
That are fullness of
Wait now.
equity.
They called him, has not spoken. Who did speak? His Excellency, Lawrence, you find why hasn't said a word at all.
Yeah.
They make the language. It is a different thing from a declaration. Sullivan declared, I need a German soccer.
Okay.
Actually, a question. He was man enough to say, I need a German soccer. 2 years before the thing was due. And I have just a few months.
That's Sullivan.
But now,
That was his style.
you don't understand.
I told you
As party
that's
leader.
his style.
As leader of the party, he spoke.
Yeah.
You talk that it is the document you are talking about. Please, I have read that document here. One document they say is the caucus. We have dealt with it. And those who even authored the caucus is incompetent to do that. Even if they did, they will subject it to SEC to authenticate. So that's why I said, as far as I do know, that's not the issue. So if and when he speaks, if you come back to this program, I'll agree with you. But for now,
When he speaks,
when he speaks,
he may not speak. He may not expressly say to you that this decision is because of zoning or rotation. But he said that at the fullness of time, that equity, justice, and fairness will
the
prevail.
time of a candidate,
By the time either by body language or by whatever way it happens, and candidate emerges, you now reconcile it with equity, justice, and fairness. Every leader, they do have their own style.
agree.
Do you understand?
Look, it's not between me and you.
And let me also say, yes, people should stop disturbing Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi.
Yeah, this is a
They don't, yeah, he is. They don't need to be discovering. Like he said, at the fullness of time, he will speak.
My friend, and those who love our governor should leave him alone. The man can make clear statement, not once, not twice.
And at the fullness of
And I
time.
believe him. And I know you believe him.
Why are they stampeding him?
They actually,
They stampeding him.
everywhere they call it ready to first. I mean,
He doesn't want distraction.
he doesn't want this.
At the fullness of
Can
time.
I actually open up? And they go my up and down. The group back.
Yeah.
Go.
On some
Okay. One way or the other, a candidate must emerge.
Certainly,
Yes.
certainly.
And the candidate emerges, justify equity. But the candidate must emerge.
By the time you emerges, if you're objective, you now know.
Objectivity is subjective now.
When the candidate emerges, look, assuming for instance, at the end of the day, an Nsukka candidate emerges, how would you feel?
If it's competent,
How would you
if
do you know? Because of his being governor, that's when you know he's competent.
no,
But assuming, for instance,
When an apple is rotten, you don't.
let us assume that today is the date of.
As a candidate. Because that's the will of the people. See,
If it's how many persons bought from in PDP? How many are from Nsukka? How many are from Kanula? How many are from Enugu Electoral Zone? There are things you don't brag about. If there are 15 that bought from today, none bought from Nsukka. What do that tell you? I'm asking you, what do that tell you?
very simple question now.
It tells you clearly that this is thinking of the people.
No, you are
That this is the thinking of the people. I have the capacity to buy from and also run now. But I chose not to.
yeah.
But obvious reasons that is also country.
That's your brother. That's your brother. That's your brother.
Not that my brother is governor, but obvious reasons.
I don't know about that. All I know is that from then you cannot do then. So
Okay, you are saying it cannot be done, but when a candidate emerges from Nsukka, you say you will accept the
if you say
person.
then, you said in soccer.
What is the difference between Nsukka and
There's
And Denmark is not from Nsukka.
no, it's not from soccer. You're from then.
Udenu people,
It's not like it's
they are from Nsukka cultural zone.
okay.
I need to know
Okay, that's
Nsukka cultural zone.
okay. That's not qualifying it. What he says, soccer local
So, what is there is that in the country, it's not a problem of ideological politics or issue-based campaign have not taken root in the country.
It
It is important that it should be encouraged and deepened.
Chinedu, it did before.
You're the fourth estate of the realm, you have a role to play. If they are reluctant, find a way to. I expect that in this dispensation, there's going to be governorship before that. Because we have to listen to them. You know what they are offering us? In the country today, how many of them are running for presidency? Except for people who is marketing himself, marketing what he intends to do. All others will obtain from and go home. And recently, my own brother, another son of Udelu, Charles, obtained his form and made a declarative statement of what his intent.
I concur.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So, the former governor of Kwara has almost transformed the entire country. What is he telling us that he wants to do?
Nothing.
He's talking about consensus. Yes. Consensus what? That's the thing. However, they are still within at the manifesto, and he will mainstream his own dispositions into it as a document because he or she intends to superintend the country for all of us.
That's the beauty of people who can talk, who can express themselves. Sometimes they say things from both sides of their mouth.
Consistently, that whoever wants to represent us in any level, some may do via press conference or press conferences, but it's important that after that, or because of that, we should also have a document. It's important.
Okay. You said it all, and it's the gladness my heart to know that you do agree. And unconsciously or consciously, you applauded those who are still aspirants. Admission to be, for example. No.
Consciously.
Even the man. What is good is good. So the fact that he intends to do that, he says, I am open for discussion. I'm open for questions. I'm open for challenge. I presented myself. There's no way presenting myself. You say you don't need a candle. Do what? I did it.
As a style.
No, that's not.
Before we started aspiring, you said pretenders and contenders.
Someone added deceivers.
Okay, I don't intend to join issues with you there. But I'm saying that Mr. A, who you think is pretending, may likely be contending.
No, I think the concept.
Let me also say this.
Yeah.
There are those that have obtained their form but are still consulting and preparing to declare. Of course, as at the time they also declare, tell us what they intend to do.
I have no doubt about that. I agree with you. That would be expected. Okay. But you see, there's a contrast between that. Okay? And so when you do that, candidates and go to win an election, doesn't in any way justify. So manipulated positions. And we see it to the end. So we'll have some basic training. The training in politics is to have a covenant, is to marriage. Okay? You don't smuggle it, then nobody will.
Do they tell you what they
do? I even said, look, I said somebody told me, I said to him, he finished. He said, support him. I said, I'm not supporting you. What does that mean? What do you do? He said, look, the one I told, I said, you know, no, but if anybody is running for any state and is not talking to you, then the person is not quite. I said, well, DP member or the African member, when you're talking on radio. I said, really? I said, okay, and no problem. Who knows I don't want to be governor? We say, who told him I didn't reps? And he has nothing to offer me, even privately. Okay, when I said it before you came, I said, okay, which I know that from your town, Amoli, you are pineapple producers. Okay? So for example, I said, look, the refuse in the electricity. I'm going to do something extraordinary to do that. Okay? There's no water in Enugu. My first target is to ensure that the challenges we have around is nothing.
I throw this challenge and the fourth estate of the revenue.
Oh, I'll accept that. Yeah, that's what I'm starting with you.
So that am I running? Am I running?
You know what?
I'm not
You know
running.
what you just did?
What did I do?
You may not know. What you just say, that when you say it's going to be clear to you, and you know it was appropriate. Let's say that they are telling you are wrong. That you understood. Right, party that you are going to have a conversation with them.
Sure.
And you do not only say it orally, you produce a document. And I said that document is in the archives, that document in public places. And people are still reading it and still saying, oh my God, the best government we've ever had. You didn't go campaigning around the states. You just should produce the document.
As my own style of engagement.
Yes, and somebody says, can we take your document and give to these people who are parading themselves? Somebody said so. Even if they pick only 1, 2, 3 for what you do, that or put something down. That's what we are saying. Even if it's a press statement,
you know what we are saying is what we are disagreeing is the strategy, the timing, when they should say it, but we agree that it is important. It's a must that they should engage the people. However, I want to believe that we hit the road running fully and let the work.
Before we leave this point, let me say that you made some valid points. I concur, I agree. But you know, the other side, flip side of it is that if there are 15 candidates, and we need to have 13 and they're saying that they should just keep quiet when they become candidates, that means half of the field. As part of the people we call delegates, I was sensitive by the people. They cannot. You know what is not good. They are forcing him on
situations and stuff, and then he willingly
months. They don't know. I do not. After you know, just the months.
As it
then was the trade and manacled. I made the meet for the criminals. Oh my God.
It is important that these people talk to us. Their own exclusive preserve bodies.
You know, it's like we always have a we agree on the necessity for them to talk.
Yes.
Well, it's not enough.
You want them to start shouting
now. The point is that you say that who should go to become candidates. I said the idea will be lost on the people. You don't talk to the people now. Because the people will bring. How do we remember those? They came, we saw, and we've forgotten them.
Let me say this clearly, transparent. Some have declared, some are still consulting.
Some will never declare.
Maybe after consultation, they will declare. Some are not that are pretending fullness of time. They will not. Mr. A of about 40 million. And you do know that in meeting, principal contenders, be anointed. Some are wrong. You need those who are waiting to be anointed and those who are. Whatever it is, we need a governor that is knowledgeable. We need a governor with a development mindset. We need a governor that will move anywhere away from civil service state. We need a governor that sustain what His Excellency Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has done and build on it. These are things we need. You might end up getting a governor who, by nature, is taciturn but is loaded and deliver in Enugu State. But if you cannot talk and you cannot write, get those that will write for you. Make the document available. Let us know your mindset so that when you're into your administration, we'll start calling you. So in that document, you have ABCD. You are not going to. When are you going to do it? So that we'll have a document which will engage you. It is important that they do that. But just know that as a style, some are still consulting and have not started. But they may eventually talk.
And they may never talk.
They may eventually talk. If they don't talk to the public and they convince their party and took nomination, they now be compelled to talk alongside with their party.
Sports, Commissioner for Environment, to businesses.
You forgot that I was in public utility.
So he also in public utilities.
I was there.
Okay.
That's what it's not easy. It's actually not easy.
So we're just a little place in the world where let's go. I don't have one.
Which other city that you know have this situation?
developed countries, let's say about around 24 hours.
Develop what countries, right?
What are we?
A different class.
We should probably leave from them. Anyway, so we fight him that when he was commissioner for public utilities, and water, and unfortunately, we're drawing water from wells and streams. I don't know. I asked him how long ago he was commissioner, he did that. And you see what Hassan Kuka called a step forward. Yeah? He doesn't move backwards. Call this developmental forward, but we're going. Also, development is in reverse gear. That's what they were just doing. You have 24-hour street lights, we're battling with that. That's also passed into law. Is it a hospital?
I don't know what you're talking about yet.
No, I know there was a law that had just been passed by the State House of Assembly to firmly establish the Igbo North Hospital Complex.
You are just informing me.
Okay, that's not.
But if, perchance, the State House of Assembly has passed a law for, do you say Igbana what? I don't know about Igbana Hospital. But,
Okay, medical.
okay. If they have passed that law, what is important that we should have such a facility in that school.
That's what I'm saying. That's a great
The
one.
present day, what is today university now? As today. What is today Ebonyi State University? That's of Science and Technology that's now in campus. Nsukka was a senatorial zone then, where the Ebonyi campus was brought back to Enugu. So if by chance or by design today, Nsukka is having what others has had for years, I have no apology to anybody. It is due for that to also be cited there. But I picked their attention. So I congratulate the governor and members of the House of Assembly. They are actually
in State University of is going to say is our
and the House of Assembly.
no.
They have created that as a distinct university.
Let me say
not lifting a campus of ESU.
let me say this.
But having a full-fledged university. Go to Delta State. Virtually every senatorial are there have their polytechnic and their own university. So there's nothing wrong. After all, aside the University of Nigeria, there's no other national institution. So it is due.
Let me tell you, coming too late.
It's part of the fullness of time the governor is talking about. Can you listen to this one now? At the fullness of time,
Can you
the
listen
university
to me?
of
You remember our conversation almost 7 years ago when you didn't make it.
manifestations of the fullness of time.
It has to do with fullness of time.
One.
No, still we say it. There are two things we talked about. Well, I think over lunch or dinner at that point. One is that the Nigerian road going to pitch neutralized 7 years ago. There was this rumor about moving out of state of Bangladesh. Now, what we also need is a full-fledged university. People say you cannot run that, that's not the issue. You don't have to call him. People are listening to me. I don't have to.
Your friend, I know that. So you have to appreciate him and the House of Assembly.
This is what I'm doing. You will hear it now that I'm saying it. The media warriors will carry it. Because you have said, and I agree with you. There is that one in the West.
I'm aware when the law went to the House. I don't know. It hasn't been passed now.
Are you saying there's no way? There's no way.
Giving to them as part of that.
Is this a whooping?
It's 200 million.
Okay, yes.
Let me say this.
What is your saying now?
If by stroke of executive fiat, His Excellency the Governor had the courage, the political will to pronounce an investor of education for your place and released 200 million for that, I expect your people also to begin to demonstrate what I will call sense of ownership and begin to engage in continuously. No, yes,
that's
in the studio.
Yes,
On behalf of your zone.
Bam.
Okay.
I recall that I have also gone to the site once. I got to the site and I came back and said the government must arrest the contractor. I said it on there, but I have to tell him when I say it here, I've said it. I said the government must arrest the contractor. I know.
What is that 200 million meant for? Is it for the academic brief? Is it for the master plan? Or to get appropriate authorization from MBTA? So I don't know the details.
I'm telling you now.
Because if it is meant for these things I listed, you will not see anything.
I agree with you.
But that does not mean they are not working.
No, that's not what it was meant for. It was meant for at least the administrative building. Now that's what I said. I went there and I was looking for the administrative building. And knowing the governors I do, as you know, I've been pragmatic. In fact, I'm asking people this. How come that you go there, you can identify the site? I know the location now. I couldn't even enter. Okay, so I know the appealing to him and we're compensating for the Medical and Applied Sciences University in Nsukka. We're begging him, if you miss this in the delegation, let him complete the good work that he has started. Open the chance of relation to that. Okay, so his new aspects leave. I was saying that's one legacy he will leave one day in the West. Okay, he said in Delta, especially in the secretariat zone, by saying that the West needs the university and the university education is welcome. Let it be done between now and May 29th next year. We always appreciate him.
There's no problem for that.
Thank you. And I know in the fullness of time you convey this message. So he's a brother.
Again, series of federal institutions in the West. You know that. You know, I love it. No, I'm not saying that it's not important. Even this one, aside the University of Nigeria, but no other.
The one that they released
Order.
The one that released 2 billion.
You understand? Now, in Nigeria alone, you have about, is it 3 or 4? What do you mean by that? Making exist there. But it is important that
all of them cannot equal University of Nigeria. All these pattern medicine dealers you are mentioning cannot equal the University of Nigeria. And don't forget,
and let me also inform you.
A brand new federal polytechnic.
Let me also inform you.
Wait.
An information. I don't know what the stakeholders
educators.
There's no way all these federal institutions will be in place and they get sectoral allocations every year. And people don't go to engage because all those things should have an effect in the economy.
Yes.
But people don't do nothing.
Yeah.
I think people don't do nothing.
So what do you do?
In our own case,
what do you do to change the fortunes of University of Nigeria?
University of Nigeria, of course.
You not the fortunes to get the vaccine market. What are you talking about?
So when you get the head, does not mean that we don't engage them. I'm asking a question.
It's even in name.
Coders from your place. How many times, whoever is to demonstrate that you are
let me the number of passengers the first person can carry.
But the first person can go
the luxurious bus. So that's the whooping 2 billion. I don't know whether 2 billion whooping and 200 whooping. Yes. They say they're starting that if you go to Odo now, you see evidence of work. They've not commenced work. Okay, so it was a paper money.
No, yes, there is process for drawdown.
So now that the stakeholders that are very up and doing, they're not going to collect that money.
Their process is for starting taking this money. That's the truth.
Okay, that is always exciting. We do it off air, we do it on air. And listeners, look, this is my friend, this is where we banter. We've exchanged ideas. Ideas are meant to move this state forward. In the private, he's a man of ideas. He's loaded. And so each time he vibrates, each time he gets the brainwave, I want to have this brainwave. I won't talk about it. What he just gave us is just the tip of the iceberg. Just so I appreciate him, and that's all this banter. It's meant to enhance that within the states. Whether you are a transparent, whether you even embed with it. If, for example, what is studying that? So I've spoken to their parents. I'm sure after Easter, a few of them will come. Yeah. But unfortunately, those people are from Africa. Those who are educated, they're willing to be here.
What is unfortunate about that?
Well, I said, well, you know, you were talking about PDP. I said,
That's my party now. That's what I'm talking about.
So, you're party people. Please.
And I expect that my party
Bring them on.
Eventually, they will come.
Bring them
By
on.
the time we have a candidate,
One man said
that candidate will stop.
One man told me, as a PDP aspirant, I won't mention his name, that look, which they say, apparently, Freedom Square is one of the shortest way to become unpopular.
What?
I don't know. He said I asked dangerous questions. He told me one point, you asked dangerous questions. I said I'm inspired like the Reverend Father, who at the pulpit.
You can ask
So I'm inspired.
and you refuse to answer it. And nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. But I'll just
I'll answer the ones I want to ask and invent the ones I want to invent. I mean,
no, you can talk a question. You can
don't just bring somebody, put the person on the hot seat, and you compel the person to answer it. No. The person will say no.
Yeah.
Clearly, okay, this particular question, I don't know.
No, it is correct. It is the right to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've talked, we've spoken, we've screamed, we've shouted, we've done all those.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying, which I think
Your line is breaking. Your line. You need to call back. Cut and call us back, okay?
Please,
Okay.
I want my friend to contribute to.
All right, thank you so much for calling. Call back 0909-771-109, 0902-311-109, or you can go to Facebook and drop a comment. Hello.
Liam, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning again.
How are you?
This is my banner.
Decency, go ahead.
Uncle, I like your guest very, very, very well. And then I'm going to check again with new guy, leader, because you're already talking to Enugu people every day by day, from Monday to Friday. Going to corner is like somebody like my CGO, I've been talking to Enugu people. And Enugu people know what they can be able to support in Enugu here. And you have another person for let me not because they're so Catholic and they make campaign. Then I want people, those are the people to talk to Enugu people. Please, can Enugu people pick the PDP and talk against these people during that time? Because I can make the best. I got a guy, I get the number. Some have gone. What people and they what all the Enugu people, we are going to return our candidate. Coming to the church. Because when I make an annoying. Abuna, no, now, I got support here. I had to go back to 23 of no running water in Enugu. And I got a general that so Enugu, every governor must think out of the box to give Enugu people water. I had to go back to university. We didn't know. University and I run of strike, and I need to never go to over strike. Because I'm saying I have to shoot. The people that attach to good state are there. Many that are attached to good state are there. Usually, I strong of the drug that you call one Enugu. Now, how many of those drugs are? I had to go tired of Friday.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much, Decency. Hello, thank you so much. Good morning.
Hello, my name is
Sam.
Sam.
Okay, Charles, go.
Know what them each one that is standing for any position. Do people really want to hear from them? Because why I ask this question is why would somebody be doing a program on air, trying to explain what he did for his material zone, and somebody would say we don't need it because it is not from your zone, and you should adhere to this, you should support zoning, you should do what is right. Instead, you should be saying that what you are doing is right, and that person should present his or her own idea or present his own template. They are simply saying, no, we don't need it, we don't need it, we don't need it. So if people don't come on air to, to say what they have for the public, which is the part of the citizen of the state or the country. So that's my contribution. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling 0909-771-100. Good morning. All right, thank you so much for calling. Hello, good morning. Go ahead, Oyenwara.
And typically, I'm just people of very good faith that they take life. You understand? How remain blessed.
Thank you so much for calling. Remain blessed too. We have comments on Facebook. Prince George says, good morning. I want to suggest to all the media houses in the state, especially in Enugu State, to organize a pre-debate for all the aspirants for the seats of governor, senate aspirants who purchase form will feel instead of talking of zoning or anointing a candidate, we need competent hands to pilot the affairs of the state. God bless Enugu State. Says, good morning, Nigeria needs referendum, not election. Okay. Wise man says, well done. Uguban Pity says, thank you so much. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. What's your name? Okay, Ken, go ahead.
What I wanted to say, let me digress. I was saying that Enugu Another State and the two government states, and I don't know whether by coincidence that we did it. And what's concerned is that I don't think we should see over and going to we are nearing that issue. I believe that the sure state of government that the Enugu State have so many questions to attack the government.
I didn't get
All
him.
right.
I didn't get him.
I got him.
Okay.
I understood what.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Do we have still Facebook?
Yes,
Okay. All right, we have Great Ifechi there, says zoning or not zoning. What Nigeria needs now is someone who can save us from the hand of Buhari and APC government, no matter where the person comes from. And this one said they should declare already it is not okay to run an elective public office without letting the people. Go ahead.
No way you can find a capital hand in the places that you don't for. And if you're using pension, if you're using
Today, you listen to a few of the comments.
Yes.
Color. So, what would you add?
In terms of competence, that you can get people who are competent from the zone that's supposed to.
Animal from
He's saying if you're using southeast, for instance, if the presidency is zoned to southeast, that you get competent people there. If you come down to the states, wherever that is zoned, there are competent people also there. It's also important that we appreciate that people that are competent should be pensioners. It's also part of the advocacy, non-governmental organization pensioners allocation that comes to the state in the southeast. A certain percentage of that allocation should be put in that Commonwealth fund, just like what PDP did in Anambra. So that when that happens, at least the fathers who are pensioners today should take their pension as first line charge. The law can provide for it. But I remember I'm giving you a charge to get these aspirants to engage. And people should make sure that the body, I don't remember the names again, those of you who are in the media houses, an organization being headed by one young man.
Don't worry, I'm working on this.
Make sure there must be a debate, partnership debate.
No, we're already working on that. The idea of asking questions and moving that belongs to the rep. Is interlopers are coming from everywhere wanting to use up our job. Whether they belong to the media, we do not know. But they will hire us to come and ask the questions and then we'll do a presentation. But like you said, we are already talking with the leadership of the OAPs and we're thinking of collaborative effort with different and the OAPs. Those who want to come, they will come. Those who don't want to come, we know they are not coming. Okay? But the weather debate, it has to happen. We must engage the people. If they don't come, we will debate for them. We set an agenda for them because we're capable of setting the agenda.
Yes.
That's part of our
Set the
function.
agenda, get their party.
Yes,
To bring them.
to bring them.
Each person coming will come with the chairman of their party.
You know,
The governorship candidate is a deputy, if you like, call him one, and party chairman of that particular party. They will sit down.
yeah, at least what can we say to actually thank Chinedu Hillary, a serial entrepreneur, commissioner for this, commissioner for that. Well, he's also a lawyer, an environmentalist. You, as reluctant as you were, I thank God you were able to come. As late as he also did, before then, our listeners.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who tried to reach us, including those who called us, and especially also those on Facebook. Thank you so much on the different social media platforms on Instagram, on your phone, Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on Twitter. Thank you so much.
Following Freedom Square TV.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah.
I said Freedom Square Live. Okay. And those following all the different social media platforms. Let's do this again next week, Saturday. Have a wonderful and blessed day. My name is Lillian Ezinwa.
Local candidates. Local guests.
Perhaps there is any mistake that we-
Can you?
Yeah, I get no more, I can try.
That's what can you wrong.
That's all
Have you
going
gone
away, na zone, no
Yes,
platform, government.
The phone is
That
around.
thing,